Chapter 14. Gear Up. Midoriya couldn't remember when his free time was filled with something other than research. Research into what, you might ask? Well, even Midoriya himself would struggle to give you a straight answer, for it involved anything and everything. Wherever his mind wandered, he followed. Of course, it often wandered to quirk analysis and hero trivia, but this time, it was a little different. He had been scouring through the depths of the internet for information on UA General Studies students who transferred to the Hero course after their first year sports festival. If he was aiming to do so himself, then he might as well gather as much intel on the process as humanly possible. However, the situation seemed to be as rare as Midoriya has initially suspected. Often, those who didn't pass the Hero course entrance exam never went on to do well enough in the sports festival to be offered a place. In fact, there was only one participant that Midoriya could get the slightest bit of information on who managed to achieve this feat, Shota Aizawa. A little more digging, and the man's name was scarce and hard to come by. But he had done so well in his sports festival, there's no way UA would just ignore a talent like that. Surely? But then again, in his subsequent years, Midoriya couldn't find any mention at all of Aizawa. Perhaps he didn't transfer at all in the end, in which case, what hope was there for Midoriya and Shinso? That was when he looked up his quirk. It belonged to Eraserhead. Eraserhead, Class 1A's homeroom teacher. Of course. He had heard the name Aizawa before somewhere. Midoriya almost couldn't believe he hadn't made the connection before. So, it really was possible. But then, all Midoriya's digging paid off. Not in the information about Mr. Aizawa, but in none other than the support course students. They brought equipment and support items into the sports festival. Midoriya looked up the rules, and there it was. Students from departments other than the Hero course are permitted to utilize support items, regarding they developed them themselves, as the students with Hero course training are seen as having an advantage over competitors in the other courses. Midoriya could use support items. He told Shinso all of this, but he wasn't that interested for some reason. He was a little more intrigued by, "You did what?" Shinso gaped. I bought a Canary," Midoriya grinned. Shinso stared at him. "You've got to be kidding me." "But she's amazing. I really think she has a quirk. Maybe a minor intelligence one." He sighed deeply. "You are unbelievable." "I got her on Friday. I thought I already told you this?" No, you did not. I've been leaving here at home during school. I hope she's alright." "She's a bird. Siren is a very smart bird." Shinso paused. "You called her Siren?" Midoriya nodded happily. He looked rather lost for words over the whole ordeal, which confused Midoriya rather a lot. Shinso then seemed to decide that he was done here and picked up his tray to join the queue to clean it up. Midoriya got to his feet and hurried after him. He had already emptied his tray, after deciding he'd do so whilst the queue had died down, but had returned to sit with Shinso anyway. "Hey, so, about support items," Midoriya pressed, eager to keep talking about the subject. "I don't know," Shinso sighed, again. "What support items could possibly help my quirk? I could think of lots, like, what about stuff we can actually make in a few days, Midoriya?" He hesitated. Then he shrugged. All his ideas were rather complicated anyways. "What about you?" pressed Shinso. "I'm guessing you have ideas of your own?" Midoriya nodded eagerly. "It would be simple, like a device to play music and maybe some speakers or headphones or something." "Well, that all sounds pretty useful," Shinso agreed. "But how on earth are you going to be able to make support items for yourself before the sports festival? Where are you going to get the equipment from, or figure out how to design it all, or not?" The girl in front of them in the queue suddenly whipped her head around, spinning on the spot and almost sending her tray and Shinso's flying in the process. "Okay, I've been listening to almost everything you just said," she admitted with wide eyes, "but hearing only one side of the conversation is tricky enough. You want to make support items for the sports festival?" Midoriya and Shinso blinked at her. Yeah? What's it to you?" asked Shinso, narrowing his eyes. She laughed loudly, walking backwards as the queue progressed. "The name's Mei Hatsume, and I'm just the girl you need." As it turned out, Hatsume was a first-year support course student in Class 1F. She was incredibly enthusiastic. Shinso wasn't too sure how he felt about her, but Midoriya was keen to take up her offer of helping him make the support items he needed during the few remaining lunch breaks they had up until the sports festival began. But first, Midoriya was keen to hurry back to Class 1C to retrieve his backpack, full of all of his quirk notes. Shinso hesitated outside their classroom. Glancing down the corridor, he could see a large crowd forming, not unlike when that girl from Class 1B found Midoriya's, or Canary's, keycard to the radio building. Leaving Midoriya to collect his things in Class 1C, Shinso wandered down towards the group in curiosity. "We're the class that survived a real villain attack," Shinso heard a voice say from just beyond the open door to Class 1A. "They want to see us for their own eyes." Shinso's eyes widened. It was that boy, Bakugo. Bakugo stopped short of the group, glaring at that guy from Class 1D staring near the front. "At least now you know what a future pro looks like," he leered. "Now move it, extras." Shinso gritted his teeth as he heard the distant voices of Ida and Uraraka berating him for calling people extras just because he didn't know them. But Shinso had already heard enough. He pushed through the crowd, making his way to the front. "So, this is Class 1A, he growled. He'd only met a few of them before, but other than Ida, Uraraka, and possibly that frog girl he'd been briefly introduced to, and maybe Jiro wasn't so bad, every one of those Hero Course students seemed... I heard you were impressive," Shinso continued, now facing Bakugo head-on, "but you just seem like a bona fide bastard." Bakugo snarled at him, his hands twitching with barely contained rage as Ida and Uraraka stared on from behind him, a little terrified by the confrontation. "I wanted to be on the Hero Course," Shinso admitted. He saw how Uraraka's expression warped as he said that. "But like far too many others here, I was forced to choose a different track. Such is life." He saw the crowd moving to his left, and Midoriya burst past Kaneko, who was standing nearby, almost stepping on her tail as he appeared by Shinso's side, looking frantic and rather scared. Shinso glanced at Midoriya before turning back to Bakugo. "If any of us do well in a sports festival, the teachers can decide to transfer us to the Hero Course. But you've only got 2 spots available, so they might have to transfer people out to make room. Either way, me and my friend here are after those spots, so I wouldn't be so keen to be an egotistical maniac, or you'll regret it come next week." Bakugo's eyes turned to Midoriya. "I don't see a reason to be worried." Midoriya flinched before turning to Shinso. "Come on, we're just aggravating them further. We shouldn't..." "I'm not about to be beaten by UA's charity case," Bakugo added without a second thought. Midoriya froze, his hands twitching in mid-movement. Was he actually angry? The thought almost made Shinso smile. Angry little birds go for the eyes. "You hear that, you mute, quirkless bastard?" snarled the real bastard here. "Stay out of my way." Midoriya glared daggers at him. Shinso was actually impressed. He didn't think Midoriya had it in him. "Hey, you!" Bakugo's gaze was torn from Midoriya to look at the newcomer towards the back of the crowd. "I'm from Class 1B next door to you," the hero students shouted. Shinso rolled his eyes. Hero Course students. Bakugo just ignored him, pushing harshly past Shinso and Midoriya to walk down towards the lunch hall. "Dude, where are you going?" exclaimed the redhead Shinso had briefly encountered beforehand. "You gotta say something. It's your fault they're all hating on us, Bakugo." "These people don't matter," he snarled, staring back at Midoriya again. "Huh? The only thing that's important is that I beat them." "Oh yeah?" retorted Shinso. Bakugo hesitated, looking back at him. "What about Canary?" Shinso smirked, mimicking Midoriya's death stare. "He's not in the Hero Course either." "Then I'll crush him," and with that, Bakugo stormed off, alone. Midoriya walked down the street towards the radio station that evening with Siren perched on his shoulder. He didn't feel like being alone. "I just hate it," Midoriya sighed, kicking at the stones on the pavement. "I've had enough. I want to show everyone, that I'm not useless. I'm not a charity case. I'm not Deku." "Chirp!" "Yeah, thanks," Midoriya muttered. "At least I have Hatsume helping me out now, and Shinso too, of course. But Hatsume's got so many good ideas. We talked to Mr. Powerloader, that's the support course teacher, and he told us what we were allowed to do and how much we needed to make for our own support items. It's lucky there wasn't anyone else there at lunch break, so I could tell her what my quirk was without any trouble. Well, I signed and Shinso translated. She doesn't listen to the radio anyways, so she didn't realize that I'm Canary. She will, though, eventually." "Tweet, tweet!" "What?" Midoriya frowned, and then looked ahead. It was the main entrance to the radio station. It was completely swamped with reporters. He sighed. "I've had enough of crowds today." At least Midoriya had gotten change from his UA uniform before heading over to the station, or else they could have very easily connected the dots. Fortunately enough, Midoriya was able to turn around and hurry off in the other direction before he was noticed, and ran all the way to the back door without being seen. "Hey, well if it isn't Canary," one of the receptionists called out as Midoriya closed the door behind him. "Have you seen that crowd?" Midoriya nodded, glancing towards the front door. It was rather daunting. They couldn't see him, of course. The glass was blacked out on their side. But from inside the building, Midoriya could see everything. The entire mob of people, desperate for a glimpse of. "They're looking for you," the other receptionist grinned. Me? Midoriya stammered. "Yes, you," she exclaimed. "The sports festival is just around the corner, and everyone is getting super hyped up. It's crazy." "What's really crazy is trying to get through the mob to get into work," sighed the first receptionist. "My keycard doesn't work for the back door. Otherwise, that's definitely the way I'd be going." "Technically, you could still come through the front door," the other pointed out. "No one knows what you look like yet." They might guess," Midoriya acknowledged, pressing the call button for the elevator. "Yeah, and anyway, all the secret identity stuff isn't gonna last long. When's the sports festival? A week and a day now, right? Isn't it on next Wednesday?" Something like that. The elevator arrived and Midoriya hopped in, eager to get out of view of the media. He knew they couldn't see him, but that didn't make him feel any better about the situation. "Hey, wait, Canary, is that a..." The receptionist couldn't finish her question because the elevator's doors had already closed on her. She was pointing out Siren, of course, who had hopped onto Midoriya's head, but she blended in remarkably well, so he couldn't blame her for not noticing the little bird at first. Midoriya didn't plan on taking Siren into the studio, of course, but he always felt bad leaving her at home without him. It was clear Siren really enjoyed human company. When Midoriya wasn't around, his mom explained that Siren tended to spend time with her instead. But whenever the door opened at the end of the school day, Siren tweeted excitably, zoomed across the house, and more than once had catapulted herself right into Midoriya's face. Midoriya had been trying to get his mom to delete the video evidence for the last few days, but had yet to succeed. The elevator doors slid open once more, revealing the waiting room in front of the studio. President Mike was likely still inside, because he was nowhere to be seen. However, the usual were present and correct, and by that, he meant Nakano and, of course, Aozora. "Evening, Canary," she exclaimed as Midoriya stepped out of the lift. "Hello," Midoriya smiled, wandering over to his nest, which was what Aozora had now dubbed his armchair, and flopping into it happily. Siren had to take flight for a moment to ensure she wasn't squashed against the armchair, and that was how Aozora noticed her. "Hold up a second," she cried, leaping to her feet and spreading her paperwork all over the floor. She stepped on it as she literally ran over to Midoriya and stared at, not him, but what had now reasserted its position on top of Midoriya's head. "Oh my God," she said, rather slowly in absolute astonishment. "Is that what I think it is?" Midoriya grinned. "This is Siren, and yes, she's a canary." Aozora actually shrieked, "This is the best thing ever!" Siren didn't even flinch, and just chirped at her happily. "Why?" stammered Midoriya. Aozora grabbed his shoulders and shook him gently. "Canary has a canary. That is genius!" "Actually, it wasn't really intentional," Midoriya admitted. "Oh, that's perfect," Aozora sighed. "You're too perfect. This is going to be gold." Wait, continued Midoriya, gingerly retrieving Siren from his curls and cradling her in his palms. "Can't you look after her whilst I'm in the studio?" "No," Aozora insisted, that freakishly wide grin spreading across her face. "You'll be taking her in with you." "What?" Midoriya exclaimed. "Yes, this is going to be awesome." "But, is that really a good idea?" "The best. Oh, and just to warn you, there's a guest in there today." A guest?" "Oh, don't worry. You already know them. I made sure it would be someone you've already met. They're from UA. You know Midnight, right?" Oh, yeah. I do. Anyway, you and Siren better get in there. It's almost 6:30. Go! And the blue-skinned woman grasped Midoriya's shoulders once more and pushed him towards the door to the studio. Siren flew back up and nestled in his green hair as he pushed open the door and hurried inside, with Aozora closing it behind him, that wicked grin refusing to leave her face. "Oh my gosh!" Midoriya blinked. There was Midnight, sitting in the seat opposite President Mike, next to Midoriya's usual one. "It's little Midoriya?" she continued, gaping at him. "You're Canary?" "Hi," he squeaked. Both heroes were in their civilian clothes. President Mike had his hair tied back in a knot and was sporting his more casual leather jacket, rather than his hero one, covered in spikes. Meanwhile, Midoriya was wearing a rather loose-fitting purple jumper that hung quite far down her legs, covering up what was probably shorts underneath. They were both wearing glasses. Midoriya didn't know how he hadn't realized they both needed glasses before. They just integrated them so well into their hero costumes that he hadn't noticed they had a specific function. Midoriya awkwardly assumed his usual seat beside Midnight. Aw, she squealed, not dissimilar to Aozora. You're just too cute for words. Midoriya blushed furiously. I've been wondering who you might be, Midnight admitted. Yamada just refused to spill the details. But of course, it's you. I wouldn't want it to be any other. If it was possible, Midoriya grew even redder. Don't frighten him off, Present Mike exclaimed. Midnight ignored him. Oh, but you're singing. It's just, yes. Nemuri, seriously, interjected Present Mike, adopting his I'm not kidding around anymore voice. Midnight laughed. Are you excited for the sports festival then, dearie? I'm a little nervous, actually, he confessed. Which means excitement, Present Mike exclaimed. Oh, yeah. Anyway, the song's coming to an end, so headphones on, people, said Present Mike, and Midoriya eagerly did just that, careful not to get Siren trapped underneath. And that was how she finally noticed, and Midoriya struggled to suppress his grin at the look on Present Mike's face. Present Mike's radio show, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 18:30 to 19:30, Canary's hour. Silence. Present Mike, Canary? Canary, yep. Present Mike, is that a real canary? Distant chirping can be heard. Canary, yep. Present Mike sighs. Present Mike, knowing you, there's a good story behind this. Canary, oh, okay, so, Present Mike and Midnight laugh. Canary, what? Present Mike, nothing. Guest, Midnight, do continue. I'm intrigued. Canary, okay, so, I was walking home and I bump into this woman who's trying to get a bird who's escaped from her pet shop out of a tree, and she said that she needed to whistle to get her down, but she couldn't whistle, so I did it and got the bird back, and then she was complaining about how difficult this particular bird was, and then, Present Mike, you bought the bird. Canary, yeah. Furious tweeting. Canary, her name is Siren. Guest, Midnight, Siren? Oh, I do like that name. Present Mike, so, why Siren? Canary, that's because sirens are mythical creatures, like mermaids, who sing to sailors and, Guest, Midnight, and make them fall hopelessly in love. So, the poor boys swim out to sea, only for them to be dragged into the depths by the sirens and eaten alive. A brief moment of silence follows, before Siren chirps contently. Present Mike, and you called your bird this? Canary, it suits her. Present Mike, the man-eating demon creature? Canary, Happy tweeting. Guest, Midnight, I love her already. I love both of you, aw. You all don't know what you're missing out on. Our canaries are adorable. Present Mike, and you've broken her. Guest, Midnight, but it's true. Present Mike, anyways, welcome to Canary's Hour, and our guest, the wonderful Midnight, will be staying with us until the end of the show. Can I get a yeah? Guest, Midnight, yeah. Canary, yay. Present Mike, what is with the yay? Siren tweets. Guest, Midnight, Siren's joining in. Oh, I love her so much. Present Mike, as per tradition, before I forget, Canary, tell us a fact. Canary, I need to start preparing these before I come here. The smallest bird in the world is the bee hummingbird, and it's 5 centimeters long, or 2 inches long. Present Mike, what? Guest, Midnight, my nails are longer than that. Canary, you have very long nails. Guest, Midnight, why thank you, I just got them done. Present Mike, why don't we stay on topic? Guest, Midnight, Canary, why don't I just put him to sleep and we can do this ourselves? Canary laughs and Siren chirps at Midnight. Canary, I don't think he'd be very happy about that. Present Mike, no, I would not. Guest, Midnight, we can stay on topic then. A bee hummingbird, did you say? Well, I don't think Present Mike would like a bee hummingbird. Present Mike, I wouldn't? Canary, why not? Guest, Midnight, check his hero fact page. Canary, what? Why? Present Mike, what are you plotting? Canary's got his phone out. They're whispering something to each other. Listeners, if this is the last you hear from me, blame Midnight. Canary gaffs and Midnight giggles. Present Mike, oh no. Canary, you have entomophobia? Present Mike, what? Canary, you're scared of bugs. Present Mike, moving swiftly forwards. Midnight laughs evilly and Siren joins in. Present Mike, we have the Canary questionnaire to complete. Canary, yeah. Present Mike, why don't we start with calling someone up? Guest, Midnight, once, when we were at UA together, There was a bug in Present Mike's gym uniform, and Present Mike, the number to call is 555-0100. Call to save a life, i.e. mine. The dial tone for the phone rings out over the radio, drowning out Midnight's voice. Siren joins in and repeats the ringtone. Listener, hello? Present Mike, welcome! You've made it all the way to Canary's hour on Put Your Hands Up Radio. Canary, anyways, Midnight, you were saying? Present Mike, no! Listener, oh my god, hi, wow, I'm actually talking to you guys. This is so cool. Canary, nice to meet you. What's your name? Listener, hi Canary, I'm Kagura. I'm like a huge fan. I've booked tickets to the sports festival, so you better be in first year, because that's the event I'm seeing. Canary, I guess you'll just have to wait and see. Guest, Midnight, he's adorable, Kagura. You're going to absolutely love him. Listener, Kagura, so he is a first year. Guest, Midnight, curious little one, aren't you? Present Mike, anyway, Kagura, what would you like to ask us? Listener, Kagura, oh, right, hi again, Canary. Canary, hi. Listener, Kagura, I really love your time on the radio. It makes my day so much better. Canary, thank you. Listener, Kagura, so, my question, since your quirk is about singing, do you play an instrument? And if so, what do you play? Canary, oh, yeah, I do actually. I, play quite a few, piano, violin, guitar, drums. It's just a fun pastime. Listener, Kagura, oh wow, you really play a lot. Present Mike, and he's really good. Canary, oh, thank you. Guest, Midnight, oh, I really want to hear you play now. Present Mike, do you have a song request, Kagura? Listener, Kagura, sure thing. Oh, sorry for scaring you earlier, my little canary, fawned Midnight, pulling Midoriya into a very constricting hug. It's okay, he managed, desperate to pull away from her. That was when the door to the studio slammed open, to reveal Aozora, still smiling like a shark. Canary, she exclaimed, I need to take a picture with you and Siren. Why? Midoriya stammered, rather confused. Because when the sports festival's over, Put Your Hands Up Radio has to update their website with pictures of you. And your social media account will need to, too. And Siren's got to be there, because she's my new favorite thing, Aozora insisted, a camera already in her hand as she pulled Midoriya away from Midnight into his feet. Siren chirped very happily at Aozora. At least she was enjoying all this company. Midoriya just felt rather petrified. Aozora led him out of the room, leaving Midnight to continue to rave about how sweet he was to Present Mike. She positioned him in front of a clear, white wall and stood back to take a picture. Midoriya had never felt so awkward in front of her, and that was saying something. "Oh, Canary," Aozora sighed. "It's a camera, not a gun. Come on, Siren, help me get his act together," she said jokingly, not expecting Siren to take action. She leapt off his head and hovered before him, tweeting frantically. Midoriya laughed and smiled at the bird. She really was strange. "Perfect," Aozora exclaimed. "Wait, what? Now, back into the studio. We'll take another photo in a minute, once you have the thing." "Oh, what thing? What? I don't..." But Midoriya couldn't finish his sentence because Aozora had already hurried him out of the room and shut the door in his face. Midnight grinned. "I told you that girl would be a good hire." Present Mike. "And we're back." Canary. Yay. Present Mike. "Now, before we get to that thing." Canary. "What thing? I'm so confused." Guest. Midnight. "Just wait. It'll be adorable. You'll see." Canary. Should I be scared?" Guest. Midnight. "No." Present Mike. "Moving on. We still have some questions to answer, Canary." Canary. Oh, right. Present Mike. "Pick a question. Any question." Canary. Okay. This is from Thoughtfully Beautiful Witch, and they ask, "Do you have any hobbies that don't have to do with heroics?" Guest. Midnight. "Oh, they also asked if you were single." Canary. Yes. Midnight squeals. Canary. Yes, I do have hobbies. As we said earlier, I play a lot of instruments and stuff." Present Mike. "And he dances." Guest. Midnight. "You dance?" Present Mike. "We've broken him again, Midnight. Tap him and he might uncurl from his ball." Siren tweets aggressively. Guest. Midnight. "Aw, I love Siren. She's all protective and adorable. Look at those fluffed up little feathers." Present Mike. "One more question before Siren kills somebody." Guest. Midnight. "Oh, let me choose." Canary. "Oh no." Guest. Midnight. "Don't worry, I won't choose a bad one. Ooh, this one's good. It's from Several Wombats in a Trench Coat." Canary snickers. Present Mike. "Is there a joke here that's going over our heads, or is that just a funny concept?" Canary. "Oh, the collective noun for wombats is wisdom." Present Mike. "No, it's not." Canary. "It is." Guest. Midnight. "I would trust him on this one." Present Mike. "That I am. Anyways, what do they ask?" Guest. Midnight. "Hey there, Canary. Who's your favorite teacher at UA?" A brief moment of silence. promptly filled with a whistle from Siren. Canary, guest, Midnight, me, it's me. Present Mic, no, it's definitely me. Guest, Midnight, I'll give you extra marks on your next homework. Present Mic, you can't bribe him. Guest, Midnight, you're only saying that because you can't bribe him. Present Mic, only because he's fluent in English and there's nothing I can do. Canary, Present Mic? Present Mic, correct answer. Guest, Midnight, no, he doesn't even teach you anything. Present Mic, yeah. Canary, but you're close to the top. Guest, Midnight, it's okay, I forgive you, because I'm that good teacher. I forgive my students when they give a wrong answer to give them a chance to try again. Canary, Present Mic, I think that's enough questions for one day. Canary, good idea. Present Mic, now I can give you the thing. Midnight gasps and claps her hands excitably. Canary, I'm terrified. Something slams on the table. Canary, a box? Present Mic, a box to be opened. Canary, okay? The sound of Canary opening the cardboard box can be heard. Canary, wait, is this? Midnight squeals in delight. Present Mic, yeah! Canary, is this like yours? Guest, Midnight, aw, you match. Present Mic, try it on and describe it. The sound of Canary moving the box and standing out of his chair is heard. Canary, it's a black leather jacket, like Present Mic's, but wait, oh, that's so cool. Has canary wings on the back, green like sirens. Present Mic, and yours, but that's super confusing for our listeners. Canary, wings are a part of my quirk. Guest, Midnight, I am very confused about your quirk. Present Mic, well, you'll just have to find out next week in the UA Sports Festival, so we better see you all there. Guest, Midnight, you know I'm going to be there. Canary, this is so cool, thank you so much. Guest, Midnight, I'm taking a picture, this is too cute. Present Mic, cue the music. Aozora threw the door open again as soon as Present Mic clicked play on the next track. Yes, she cried for the second time that evening, as the prophecy foretold. Matching leather jackets. Aozora shot a look at Present Mic. How dare you decide not to wear your hero costume today? Now I can't take a picture of the two of you. I'll wear it on Thursday, I promise, Present Mic exclaimed. Please forgive me, he added mockingly. Following the wise words of Midnight, that I shall, Aozora said solemnly as she dragged Midoriya from the studio to take another picture. Stumbling in front of the white wall again, Midoriya didn't find it as hard to smile this time. Angle yourself so I can see the wings, Aozora instructed. And so he did just that, with Siren perched on his open palm. She was better at photoshoots than Midoriya was, it seemed. Aozora squealed again in the utmost delight as she got the picture she wanted. She turned to Midoriya. I just thought I'd warn you. The sports festival is on a Wednesday, so you'll have Canary's hour the day after and the day before. Are you okay with that? Midoriya nodded happily. Are you sure? You might be really worn out after the sports festival's finished, she acknowledged. Well, we get the day off school after the festival, Midoriya recalled, so I'll have the morning to recover, if I need to. Well then, 2 more shows until the day. I'll be in the stands, cheering you on. Thank you. I'm sure you'll do great, she smiled, a little less terrifyingly, as she ushered him back into the studio. I really hope so.